Hi all, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about my previous prediction that I made that I went wrong in, or may have actually entirely missed, right? So this is the prediction that I make, which was Ethereum will face another rise in the next hour, after which you should sell, which was technically correct advice, but and obviously I said this will be the highest point for the market this week. Spot on predictions of the market. So obviously I made a pretty good prediction the day before, and I'm still keeping around 1,600 Ethereum, which is still true. Like, I mean, I still have around about, I believe, 1,300 Ethereum. Actually, I think I may have sold a few. Yeah, I did sell a few at 4616, it looks like. So around about 250. Yeah, so that will put me at, yeah, so I did end up selling a few. I did lower the price though. So I don't know if I'm happy about that or not, but yeah, I still have a few Ethereum that I can sort of sell at a higher price. What I think is probably the best thing to do, and obviously just sort of kind of let you know, hey look, sometimes when you're trying to predict the market, things may not go as planned, obviously. Sometimes the trends are not as obvious as what they would be here. So say, for example, if you look at this particular section here, compare that to what happened last week. Last week that trend was this particular trend here, you know, and as you can see for this one, it was quite clear that you hit a peak and then it did a whole bunch of this, drop down, and then there was another rise, and then this kind of steadied on for a bit, and then another drop, and then did that. So it's kind of like a one level, higher level, and then it dropped to another level. But if we go back to what we experienced, obviously we did a little bit of this, and I think we did a bit of this, but it's not as prominent as the other one. Like, I mean, you could say that this particular rise in itself is definitely quite sort of, I guess, representative of this, but like this particular drop on its own, like you don't see it, right? Like you sort of see it here, but it's not as like separated. So you can see level 1 and then you can see level 2, but then there's no sort of level 3 element to it. So I can't really tell if we're out of this particular segment or if we're into the third segment where it's gonna drop. If we go back to this one, where it's gonna drop here, and then there will be another rise. So when it came to predicting that, it wasn't as significant, I'd say. I thought there was going to be a higher rise than here, the 3,300. I thought it was going to be up to like the 3,350, but it wasn't, right? Because this was a lot higher. Like it was 3,327, 3,329. Like this was a lot higher than what this was, or maybe it was equivalent. I thought it would go higher because the natural trend of the market is obviously going upwards, but nonetheless, in this video we're going to look at what to do next. So as we know that this is going to happen, and then there will be a downwards trend. I am buying around about here, but given that I just found out that the numbers didn't actually quite exceed the previous cap, I feel like the drop is going to be run about similar. What I did was I put my buy price at around about, I think it was, so this is in Australian dollars, obviously converted to USD. You can probably do that just by having a look at what the market price is here. And you can work it out that way, but for Australian dollars, essentially I'm going to be buying at 4,350, but I have a feeling I should be dropping that down to 4,300, in which case it would work out a little bit better. So I had it 50 higher, but I think I need to go 50 lower for this one. And then obviously as this price is going to reach here, there will be another peak that we'll experience between the 15th and the 16th, which is, if you compared that'll be between the 22nd and the 23rd, which is 22nd and 23rd, so around about this period here, and then anything after the 23rd you should be selling, basically, right? Get to the highest peak that you possibly can. I don't want to say before the 23rd, because I think even on the 16th, like even during the day, it was peaking. Oh, it looks like it's before, but as we know that this particular trend is actually a little bit delayed, so it comes a little bit later than expected, essentially. So you may actually be well into the 23rd before that next peak happens, but I guess be patient with the market, because you don't know how the market's going to respond. Sorry, that was a click in my wrist. And yeah, so basically be patient with it, wait for this rise here, sell at the highest point that you possibly can, and then I will not be trying to predict when we're gonna reach this one. Obviously, if you're more than welcome to obviously try and get a swing trade here. I do not recommend it, because I think sometimes what happens is it just does this instead of doing the whole sort of up and down, because we know for a fact it's on a downhill trend after this particular phase here. So anything after the 23rd, I would suggest exiting the market, waiting for the market to drop until this particular point here, which will probably come 23rd, 24th, 25th, so we're possibly 2 days after. So you're exiting the market for around about 2 days, maybe even 3 days before it starts rising. You can obviously wait until that. You have the potential to do a swing trade here, but yeah, you can either buy at the lowest point here or the lowest point here just before. I believe if it's the 19th, it will probably be the 26th. So just to recap, 23rd is the last day that you should be holding any Ethereum, and anything after the 23rd, just sell, and then wait till the 25th to start buying at the lowest potential point, and then 26th you should start to see it sort of the numbers rise back up, right? And yeah, so, and then obviously there will be minimum rises in between, but nonetheless, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll probably make a video tomorrow just to see where we're at, or maybe even later on tonight, and then obviously set up my sort of buys and sells. So if you want to see what my buy and sells are going to be in Australian dollars, then feel free to check it out. Otherwise, use this particular chart to sort of calculate what that difference will be. You can always tell, because it's usually you buy like 100 below the market anyway. So just to give you an idea, if you're using CoinSpot, if the market price is around about, say for example, the market price is 4660, you won't be buying at 4660, right? You'll be buying at 4560. So people, as you can see, this buy is 4578, so it's a little bit higher than that. And then people are selling at around about 4559. Sorry, vice versa. 4578 is what they're selling at, and then 4559 is what people are buying. So it's 100 below the market, right? And that's when you buy, so obviously the value of that goes up, but realistically buying and selling off the market is 100 below. So it might be the case for when you're trading with US dollars as well, 100 below. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. But for now, as I mentioned, because we're on that third sort of sector here, like we are about to see this particular drop and a rise. So if it does drop, feel free to buy down here, and then obviously once again sell up here, and then don't hold any Ethereum until the next rise. But anywho, if you haven't had the opportunity, I have created a Twitter account where I'm going to be tweeting stuff from time to time, hopefully giving you guys an update. This is where most of my videos are going to go as well, obviously on YouTube as well. Yeah, if you also want, obviously I've got my if you haven't signed up to CoinSpot, if you're in Australia, it's a quick and easy process to get yourself verified. It's quite secure, and that way you can and then you can basically use my referral code. It's in the link in the description. You get $10 Bitcoin worth of Bitcoin when you first start trading on this platform, and essentially yeah, it works out. And obviously feel free to come back to all these videos and I'll show you how exactly to do that. One other thing that I will also focus on a little bit later is the long-term sector or the long-term plan, because we know quite as of current people are actually getting really into crypto, but then the greed index is actually quite high, so in which case the market has the potential to crash. Now obviously I'm going to start analyzing the market in a year period or a 2-year period, just to sort of see when the highs and the lows were, and sort of figure out when I should actually be looking to exit the market and not holding any crypto, you know. So that will probably be in some of my future videos as well, but it'll be very recent because I know for a fact we are on an uphill trend. So eventually what goes up must come down. So bear in mind that. But for now, I'll leave you with all of that. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and then I'll come and address it in all of these videos. Hopefully they're educational. Again, if you're young, in your teens, in your early 20s, or maybe your 30s and over, look, there's no time better than now to get into crypto, right? Even if you hold and obviously the market crashes, eventually it'll come back up. Eventually it'll get to the point where it was before, and you'll still retain that value so long as you're patient with it and you don't hold, and make sure you don't invest anything that you're not afraid to lose, right? So that's the other thing as well. With any investment, there's a level of risk involved, depending on what the market sort of thinks the value of things are. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the very next video.